Oh, is Wallace in? Can we just summon Wallace?
And swoosh as well.
Yeah, Wallace and Swoosh. Alden, have you told the healers where they're going?
Oh, I think I'll do that when you explain tactics.
Cool. Ploxy, you can be a nipple.
Ah, good.
Where's the bot Führer?
7 and 8 needs druid buffs.
Okay, so I'm going to go with tactics. Obviously, we did very brief tactics and got the boss to 54%. The aim of that is the chromaggus each week has 2 different breaths, which are assigned the moment you join the rep. So we've got the same breaths as last time, which is time lapse and fire breath, incinerate, and this is probably the 2 hardest combinations you can have. So I'm just going to go over the first breath. The first breath is time lapse. It does no damage, but it reduces my HP by 50%. Sorry, anyone it hits, it reduces their HP by 50%, stuns them for 6 seconds, and reduces your aggro by 50%. So last time when I got hit by it, the boss kept running over and attacking the mages because the mages were second on DPS because of this. So to combat this, every 30 second, like so 30 seconds, 1 minute 30, 2 minutes 30, 3 minutes 30, I want all the DPS, apart from the hunters, to run on top of DX. I'll try and announce them out as best as possible, but essentially I'll go 20 seconds, everyone run onto me. The reason we're doing 20 seconds is because if you got the bronze affliction, it can stun you in place for 4 seconds. So it's just giving you about a little bit of leeway to run on top of me. There's no cleave, there's no sort of AoE damage you should take, so it's just run on top, everyone takes it, apart from the healers, the hunters, and the 2 off tanks, so Ploxy and Baba. All of you will just run line of sight, so where the star and the circle are if you're melee, and essentially where EOS now is, or the X, you guys should just be here. So that's the bronze breath. Now the fire breath is simply a fire breath which will do 4,000 damage to whoever it hits, so it should just be myself being hit, or Ploxy, or the off tank if they're tanking. If I've got the black curse on me, it deals double fire damage, which means I will take a yoink of 8,000 damage. So essentially, when it comes up to 50 seconds, 1 minute 50, 2 minutes 50, you got to make sure I'm the #1 person who gets debuffed with that, because it will absolutely smash me. You do not need your Onyxia Scale Cloak for this fight. There's no mechanic here which requires it, so feel free to have your normal cloak on. And then just to go over positionings, so at 50 seconds, the melee DPS will run onto the X, and you want to run into this corner here, so you line of sight the boss. If you run into the corner where I'm at now, so just next to it, chances are you're going to be hit. So you want to go this corner here, follow Michaela and Tuba, because they're probably well versed in this, and you just want to run into this corner as quickly as possible. Wallace, you won't need a fire protection pot on this boss. It should only be myself being hit. And then the only other 2 mechanics we need to know about is Frenzy. So every 12 seconds the boss will Frenzy, so the hunters sorted out rotation. And actually there's 3 mechanics. So that's the first one. At 20%, the boss goes into an enrage. So it'll be myself popping shield wall, and everyone needs to nuke because it is going to be painful at 30%. Sorry, 20%. That's when it becomes healers, you need to be fully on top of me, I need to get a lay on hands, I'm going to be chain chugging stone scale potions throughout this, and essentially just nuke the boss. And the very last mechanic is elemental weakness. The boss will rotate elemental weakness, I think, every 15 to 20 seconds, and what this means is, if you cast a fireball on him when he's weak to fire, it will do roughly 4,000 to 5,000 damage, and that's if you're frost spec. Both myself and Ellie have weak auras to say which one it is, so listen out and we'll call out which ones it is. So if it's weak to nature, your boomkins are going to be absolute popping. If it's weak to fire, mage is going to be popping. If it's weak to arcane, obviously boomkins and mages absolute popping. So have your fireball, have your arcane missiles, have your frost bolts. They might not be in your skill bar now, but it's worthwhile in this fight because you will absolutely do insane numbers on it.
Still watch the thread, right? Not go above much.
Yeah, so honestly, watch it for the first 30 seconds, just chill and just do what we did last time because we didn't lose aggro because of that last time. It was just a breath what screwed us. So paladins, if you get the bronze breath on the first one, you should use your bubble and insert, use your bubble. That'll get rid of the bronze breath. So the bronze affliction. The bronze affliction stuns you for 4 seconds at random interval. Now, because we've got an extremely limited amount of bronze breath, we've only got enough for one decent attempt. So we're going to do this slightly dynamically. If we get to 50% and we're in a really good place, and the healers have got the bronze affliction, I'll call out for the healers to use their sands. I'm going to be in the same place, so if we get to 50%, I'll use sands then, because we don't want to waste these. Mages, you can ice block out the bronze affliction, and that's probably the best thing you can do. Is there anything else we need to go over?
I'll just quickly go over the healers. Not much, but I think that's basically it. Bottom line is get hit by the breath, the bronze breath, when March calls it. Everyone but off tanks and healers and hunters. And hide for the incinerate breath.
Yeah.
Can I go over healers?
Yeah, just remember what I'm going to say for the last one is restoration potions. So we've asked everyone to bring restoration potions. Essentially, what I'm going to do is after the first time lapse, if the attempt's looking good after the first one, I'll say for everyone to use a restoration potion. And then if the attempt's still going well, I'll ask for everyone to use a restoration potion at 20%. That way, people who are decursing can then focus on DPS for a little bit. So essentially the panic mode is if you've got 3 afflictions on you, you want to start focusing them people really quickly. If they turn to 5, they will most likely wipe the raid. But obviously the restoration potions combat this a lot.
Yep.
Go ahead, Alden.
Yeah, for the healers, I've assigned, like I posted in the channel, 3 priests and Rabek on March or Proxy, whoever's main tanking at the point in time. Rabek, you will cleanse the main tank like instantly. Eos is gonna decurse the main tank, whoever it is, and keep hots up. And I want facts, coins, Fae, and Song to stay with the melee on the square over this corner, and hide with the melee as well. And paladins, you're basically on like 100% what's called cleanse duty. So unless everyone's cleansed, you actually shouldn't heal too much. I would like Moonkins to remove to stay with the melee as well. And your foes today will be decursing. Just because we know mages pump out more damage and we need decurses a lot for this fight. So you decurse the raid. Mainly the melee group. That's basically it. Priests should probably spam Fate as much as possible, just to be sure to be below the off-tank aggro.
And just to double check, healers are not supposed to be hit by the breath?
No, healers, the rest of the healers, those that are not assigned to the melee group, stay where I am now, and we shouldn't be hit by the breath here.
No, so the idea is I need to tank him in front of this essentially tile line. So healers, if you try casting spell on me now, you should all be able to reach me.
Yeah. So as long as we're here, and that same goes for the ranged, you shouldn't get hit by the breath. Moon can swap to damage when it's arcane, what was called weakness or whatever, because you're gonna do a lot of damage.
100%.
Yeah, Heidmar, you are welcome to cleanse as well on the melee group. Would be nice.
So that's pretty much it. I feel really confident we can do this in one attempt. So I'm going to go literally full potions when we start. I'd recommend it's up to melee DPS if they've got cheaper potions, pot them. But after how well we did on an attempt where we didn't know any tactics, I do feel confident.
Arch, can you go over with the like? Should the range get bronze breath?
Everybody will get yeah, so everyone will get a bronze breath apart from the hunters,
Okay.
the off tanks, and the healers.
Okay.
And that'll be at 20 seconds. So when there's 10 seconds left for the breath, I'll call for people to come on.
How often are the breaths?
Every 30 seconds. So the first one goes 30 seconds bronze, 1 minute fire, 30 seconds 1.5 bronze, 2 minute.
Roger.
Okay, everyone's ready. So Pooch, if you get on your running boot, if everyone just wants to hide into the cubby holes to start off with, it'll be great. Oh, Pooch started.
Shit.
He's alright, it's on me. Okay, everyone go in. Make sure demo shots on the boss, please.
It's trust right now.
Okay, everyone onto me. Okay, sorry, that was my bad.
It's back on once, just get the position.
Shadow.
Remember to decurse, cleanse.
Moving to shadow.
Second
fire
breath,
breath.
everyone run out. Okay, everyone run on top of me.
Maybe.
All the DPS. On top of once. Yeah, my leader. Good blocks.
Okay, it's back to me. Everyone go back to where you were.
I'll just remove my mark because I think it confuses some people.
Watch out for incinerate now.
Everyone hide.
Still arcane.
Keep the spell. Cleanse. Time lapse in 10.
Okay, everyone on top of me.
The DPS top of much.
What's it now?
Okay, heal
damn it,
Baba.
Baba.
Heal Baba. That's it, Baba. Good job.
Nice.
Okay, it's back onto me.
Yeah.
Healers, pop your sands now if you want. Can we get combat res onto Michaela, please? And a combat res onto Chuba.
Remember to cleanse.
Incinerate run.
Ah, fuck.
Sorry,
It's
that's
bad,
my
it
bad.
hits melee
That's
now, it hits melee.
Fire.
So the way it stands, melee needs to run to the healers instead.
Time lapse in 5 seconds. One top of much.
Shadow.
All DPS in March.
I
Okay, so
got
that-
it.
Baba, it's fine.
Brings me, Baba. I'm gonna need to reposition the boss after this. Okay, I'm just moving the boss slightly.
Shit.
Okay, that should be a bit better for everyone.
So are we running the healer?
Incinerate round, everyone run.
Keep decursing.
Frost.
Incinerate now. Oof. 9,000 grid.
Time lapse now, run to me. Corby FD,
Feign death.
Hunters FD. I'm going to reposition the boss.
Nature.
Keep Marshal.
Okay, everyone use their
Incinerate
restoration
and-
potions now.
Incinerate and nade.
Use the restoration potion if you've got it.
Hide, yeah.
What's the weakness?
Keep people dispelled.
Okay, I'm going to pop shield wall. I will announce when shield walls ends. Can I get a lay of hands, please? Everyone onto me. Don't hide, everyone on. Clock's your babby, you're going to need to pick it up. Oh, with shield wall.
Yeah, kill some blocks it. Kill some blocks it.
Yeah, using civil, trying to help it. Just need.
Keep people first still.
We got
Okay,
myself
back
again.
into me. Can I get a lay on hands, please? And then I'm just going to move the boss slightly.
Incinerate in 9 seconds.
Everyone hide. Everyone hide. Okay, I'm going to pop last stand.
Rex.
Don't let people get too 5.
I need a big heal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go for the nuke.
Keep dispelling. Cleansing. It's destroy.
It's frenzy. Big nuke. Everyone. Nicely done.
Nice. Good job.
Smooth.
So this is the hardest combination match.
Yeah, that's the hardest combination. The only other one which is equal to it is nature breath with time lapse because nature reduces my arm.
So the Malise took some damage halfway through, and a lot of us died. How come?
It was a late calling from myself, so you all got hit by the fire breath. Now everyone, you can run through to the final boss. Oh, my weak aura tells me to put on my scale cloak.
Sometimes when you're hiding, you can hit him through the wall. If you can hit them wall, he can hit you.
Yeah, so that'll be because of the boss positioning after the being stunned. It's too close to the melee on the pillar. So you would have noticed after, let's say 50% when a lot of you died, a lot of you then didn't get hit when you went behind. It's because I repositioned. Wallace, you're going to need to trade me for an Onyxia Scale Cloak. Everyone, really good job there. Baba, I wouldn't worry too much because we're going to go with the tactics, so it should hopefully dispel. It's just going to make you guys running in really slow. I mean, it's funny it's funny to laugh at you, but it's still funny. Yeah, guys, if you do not have your cloak, you're going to need it 100% here. Everyone in the raid should have it from last time. The only person who was different was Wallace, so you will get one-shotted without it. It's not an option for this boss. Sam's got one because he came to Blackrock Desk with me on Saturday.
Damn.
Alright, if you're a sword rogue, you can roll on the Bloodfang's Valors.
Stab master, aren't you? Daggers.
But we're rolling shoulders.
Stabmaster's daggers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm daggers.
it's only swords that can roll on these because you're supposed to do it here.
Okay. I'm just gonna start going over tactics while Leo's doing the loot. So, this is a 3-phase fight, so slightly different from what we. In phase 1, you're gonna have all of the ranged and healers on top of the X. So this is where I'm now. I'll divide up the melee groups into 2 groups. One will literally go with Ploxy and Baba into this corner, where I am now, so essentially you defend the gate. And the others will go to the other doorway with me and Coco, and you defend the doorway. Coco, it's probably worth you have a shield on just for phase 1.
Yep.
So essentially what phase 1 is, you have 42 dragons running through, essentially, well, 42, so 21 dragons each hole. And they're all elites, and they've all got to die. It doesn't matter if they die together, but they just got to die. When they die, they leave a skeleton on the floor, and that's important for phase 3. So you ideally want to get them into that hole as best as possible. Once all 42 have died, you then go into phase 2. The only other thing worth noting actually in phase 1 is some of the drakes are immune. So if a blue drake comes out, that blue drake will be immune to frost. If a red drake comes out, it'll be immune to fire, and so on. Every now and then a chromatic one will come out, and the chromatic ones they take reduced damage from all magic. So melee, chromatic, kill first. It's going to be worth calling out if the sides they come out won't mix and match. So if you get the blue coming out the left one, mages, you're not going to be that helpful on the left hand side. So it's going to be worth maybe some melee DPS running from one side to the other, and the mages focusing on the other side. But this is something we'll just call out between. So phase 2 is the magical time of Nefarian himself. So Nefarian lands pretty much where I am now, and it's got your standard dragon abilities such as he's got a Shadow Flame Breath, he's got Claws, so yeah, he's got Cleave, he's got Shadow Flame Breath, he's got Tail Swipe. Now, what makes Nefarian a really special boss is he's got 9 class calls, so every single class has a class call, and it is based on the number of classes we have in the setup. So, as an example, if I'm a Warlock, your class call is 2 Infernals are going to come down and stun in an area around you. So when that happens, melee DPS will need a swap, a tank will need to pick up the Infernals, and you'll just kill him down. So each class is going to have a place for them to go, essentially. So Warlocks, where I'm standing now, you might want to come have a look on the X. You guys want to run here when the class calls come, and we'll announce class call coming. You don't know which one you're going to get, but everyone wants to go into their correct position. So Warlocks, you'll be standing over there. Mages, you are going to be on your own for this fight. So Mages, you're going to be sat over here, all of you on the X, where I am now. And essentially, that is because the Mage's class call is you polymorph random people in the raid. You turn yourself into maggots and people into drafts. So you guys want to be literally sat here at the back, so you don't line of sight me or any of the healers. There's no raid damage you guys should take, so you're just going to be sat over here on your own. Let's go on to Druids. So Druids, you will be put into cat form. And you can't go out of cat form for 30 seconds. So all of your owls, you now become cats, and you just have to go attack the boss for a little bit. Paladins, you will cast Blessing of Protection on the boss, and that's essentially a bubble on everyone. bubble on Nefarian, so no damage can happen. At that point, it's worth putting, I think it's Blessing of Wisdom, where if you hit the boss, you restore mana, and it's essentially a 20-second break on the fight. I still take damage.
Is it a bubble march or is it a bob?
It's a bop, so it can't be dispelled.
Okay.
I believe magic damage still does go through.
Yeah, this bob does.
So obviously, just be careful, because if that's the very first one, I might not have enough aggro for it to happen, for me to keep aggro through that first class call. If that's the very first one. Warriors, like all of you warriors, are gonna love life because you get to stay in Berserker stance. The downside is you all take 30% more damage. So at that point, I'm gonna need extra healing on me. Because I can't change out of Berserker stance and I'll be taking 30% more damage on top of the 10% reduction already. Priests, you can no longer do direct healing. You can only cast Renew and Power Shield. If you cast a direct heal on somebody, you put a Shadow debuff onto them, which is a dot. If you do multiple, it is then getting really painful to heal. So at that point, the Paladins should then focus on myself, as should Eos, because obviously we've lacked the healers from the pre. Oh, and I forgot the Hunter one, which is probably the most depressing one out of all of them. Hunters, you need to make sure you got a macro to swap out your ranged weapon, because at the class call, he will break it. Whatever is in your ranged hand, he will break. So I believe Nida has put up a macro in the Hunter channel in Discord. Go have a look. Go make sure it works now. Because if your weapon breaks at 95%, you're then being a melee hunter for the next 95%. And if that happens, I can assure you, Coco will have a word with you about holding Nightfall. So this is just rinse and repeat. Oh, there's two other debuffs. One is Veil of Shadows, which reduces healing by 75%. It can be dispelled, so that needs to be done ASAP, especially onto my. And obviously Fear Ward. So it's your standard Elixir, and oh, look at Nida there. Yeah, so he's also got the same fear as Elixir, so you just want to cycle Fear Wards on top of myself. We'll get the boss down to 20%. Now, at 25%, I might ask everyone to stop damage. Now, this is really important. Oh, sorry, I didn't go over rogues, because this is the one I fucking hate out of everything. Rogues, you get teleported on top of, essentially, myself. So you would go in front of, literally, you'll be teleported either to the left or the right. Now, if you've got improved sprint, you can sprint out of this because you are rooted in place. If you have got Vanish, I've been told Vanish works, but I've not confirmed that myself.
According to Shuba, none of that works. So the only thing we can do is either evasion or lift.
So essentially, I've got a few tactics I can do. So I'm going to tank him here. If the first one happens, I can backpedal to about here. Escape Artist should work as it's a route. And then I can.
We have five. We have 5 rogues and 5 paladins. We can just assign a paladin to each rogue to Blessing of Freedom.
Improved sprint does work. I can confirm that one. So if you've got it, happy days.
Right, fair enough.
Now, if let's say we get unlucky, what I can do is just literally go to the left. Obviously, the boss will be then facing this direction, and I might have to go the other direction depending on where the rogues get teleported. But that's the only time the boss should move. And then going on, so when the boss gets 25%, I'll either say for us to push DPS or to hold DPS. And essentially what the reason for this is, you do not want a class call overlapping with phase 3. Phase 3 starts at 20%, and what that is the 42 skeletons we've killed, so the 42 dragons we've killed will then revive themselves as skeletons. All as elite, they do not have a lot of HP, but what you essentially want is all your mages coming over here, so essentially come right behind the boss. Chances are they're going to be running over to the healers, which are over here, because the healers will be generating aggro. And you want Frost Nova them in place, Strat Holy Water, any AoE, we'll have Ploxy or Babo, depending who's got Challenging Shout off cooldown. We'll have one of them pop Challenging Shout, and you just nuke them down. So if you've got your sappers, you've got your holy water, they will die really quickly. Once you got rid of them, it's back onto the boss, and it's the last 20%. If we get to that phase and we got everyone alive, it is really hard to fuck up. I'm sure somebody can try, but it is really hard.
So I'm not doing the lip thing.
If you've got a lit potion on you, that'd be a really great opener if you can blink Frost Nova and then go ham with. And it can be exactly the same if we got, depending on the cooldowns of Bop and what class calls you've had, we could call for a paladin to put a Bop on you after the lip, or just call for Ploxy to do a challenge shout. But if you've got lips on you, that's probably the best way of doing it actually, is Leo will blink in, Frost Nova, start doing your AoE shit, and obviously pop a lip at the same time.
Yeah. Can you go over the mage class call again, because I was doing some building?
That's absolutely fine. So, because there's no raid damage coming out, the mages will be over here on their own. So, with the boss positioning, you should be able to sit there and throw frostbolts from either here or from here. Obviously, where the healers will be standing, they can probably reach you over this side if you are taking any damage. When the classical timer comes up, you want to go hide around this pillar, hug the wall, because you do not want to be hit by. You do not want the raid to be hit by polymorphs. So essentially, you mages will be over here having a polymorph party.
Yeah.
Just make sure you hug it and you can't see anyone else. And yeah, have fun with your classical, because it's the worst fucking one.
So much the AoE fear.
Yes.
Does. You can line of sight it here, right? I'm not. It's just a lot of information.
Yeah, so
I'm not
much.
sure if you went over it, but.
I do not know if line of sight works on the fear.
Yeah, I think it does. As I watched the stream, so you can line of sight his AoE fear over here. Behind this.
Yeah, so where the skull. So this would be the same for the mages on the other
Square.
side. You literally, these pillars use these as line of sights. So it's going to be a great tab in, tab out moment.
Yeah.
If anyone can help me do announcing throughout this fight, it'd be really worthwhile, especially on the first attempt where I'm focusing on tanking rather than announcing. If we overlap each other, it's not. Does anyone have any questions before we do our first attempt?
With that line of sight thing, I'm going to have to stay out to decurse. I can't really like move from you. Is that what you're talking about, range?
No, you're just gonna pop in and out here, like line of sight here, and then March is gonna be
you
over
think
here
I can
at the,
still
at
reach?
the edge.
Okay,
Yeah, you can still
just
reach.
I saw
So
people
just
like further
pop in
forward
and out.
when I
Fine.
yeah.
Yeah, try and avoid the fears.
As a melee, I would I'll try to line of sight it, because if you get feared in front of me and get shadow flamed, that's going to be a really unfortunate combination. Even if you don't make it in time, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get feared from where you're going to be standing if you're running away and if you're right next to the boss.
Yeah.
Also, warriors, you can use Berserker's Rage to dispel it and just stop it from coming.
So really quick for the healing, 3 phases. Phase 1 is the add phase, so we'll stay in the middle, and I've divided the healers up in 2 groups: Elephant, Artifacts, Coins, Airs. You're gonna be healing whoever is tanking and DPSing over here, so to the left of where we are, and the rest of us, me, Storm, Robeck, and Trillic, we're gonna focus the right side. For phase 2, we've got me, Ellie, Robeck, Trillic, Facts, and Airs on March, because there should be no raid damage. Airs, you are decursing March, that's your main trial, and HOTS as well. And on Priest class call, we'll try and call out that everyone is gonna focus, all the Paladins and Airs, you're gonna focus March, because Priest won't be healing for a lot. Phase 3 is the same assignments for March, but the people who are not assigned to March should be checking out the raid, because of the ads incoming, and people will use lips, etc. So, but rest of the healers just keep an eye out for mages going in, shield them as quick as possible. That's basically it.
Yeah, the class call still happens in phase 3. So this is the reason when we get close to phase 3, you don't want a class call to overlap with the changing of the phase with the skeleton spawn. If we get, let's say, an easy one to deal with, like say, what's going to be an easy one? If we get the warlocks, we can kill the warlocks infernals, push to phase 3, then progress. Or let's say if it's a bop, well, the boss isn't taking any damage. So if we get a paladin class call, if we can try pushing it with magic damage, then going into phase 3, again, that's quite nice. Druids, because you're going to be in cat form, and we've only got one druid healer, we don't lack too much, so that's another good class call to push to 20% on. The one other thing to note is Nefarian in phase 1 teleports around, firing random shadow bolts at people. It's completely RNG.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, rebuff shadow protection. Yeah, well, the potions are for phase 1, Peralta. That's where he zooms around, spamming shadow bolts.
Could I get a hunter with me this side, putting a frost trap down just at the entrance?
Where do you want group 3, March?
Group 3 would be to the left.
Here?
Yeah, that's perfect. As Cry just said, now there's been multiple reports of this. People are doing People are doing phase 1 so fast that combat is dropping in between the phases, phase 1 and phase 2. If that happens, it's a perfect chance there for people to drink and eat up. And again, it's going to be the same thing. If we call that one of the sides being overwhelmed, can we just get a couple of people to swap over? Probably the warriors, because they can intercept. Could we have one? Actually, let's do a ready check, and then we'll see if everyone's ready.
What kind of damage will the mages do here? AoE or single target in the first one?
It's obviously going to be depending on what's coming through. So if you're coming through on my side, and there's, let's say, bronze dragons, you want to be doing AoE damage. If there's blue drakes, obviously a lot of you are spacked into Blizzard, so that's going to be worse. But obviously you can then do arcane explosion, so it's just worth paying attention to what drakes are coming out what side. Yeah. Could we get somebody who is on the left hand side to go entertain Nefarian, go talk to him about role playing? My sides are looking very light on melee DPS.
What type of gear do you want me in, Marsh?
Keep your DPS gear on. Cool. Just sword and shield it.
Let the games.
Okay, the games have begun. Okay, I've got blue right hand side. Man, these are melting like fucking butter.
It's pretty.
I don't even get to cast a fireball on them.
Well, you might now because the frost traps run out.
Can you CC Dyster? Push. He's mind controlled. Nice.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. He occasionally mind controls random person.
Yeah, just the sheep on them will dispel up.
Now, there should be a dragon kill counter somewhere, but mine's not loaded.
Just count the skeletons.
Very big pile.
Easy.
Does Big Wiz show this at all?
And see on Lava.
Not as far as I can
nice.
tell.
Sheep Lava.
Okay, I'm heading over.
Kill that before move. Precision.
You're out of combat. Redrink now. Redrink now, everyone.
Yeah.
So we got one of the bugs where he flies away and then comes back.
It's
So
behind your pillars.
So everyone get into position.
Mages on the opposite side.
Burn, you wretches. Burn.
Fair what march to start.
Just tell them.
Findora, you'll get the next.
Can we start DPS?
Yep.
Don't touch what you can't afford.
Flame coming. Decurse much.
Warrior class call. Extra healing on me, please.
Yeah, big heals on much.
I'll pop the stones shell as well. Shadow flame incoming. We make sure demo shout and thunderclapper on the boss, please.
Decurse much.
Fear in 3 seconds.
Shadow flame.
For some reason it's not
Keep much up.
showing.
I'll call it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back into normal stance.
I think the mage is outrange.
Mage sheep. I don't have a timer on class calls.
17 seconds till it's up. Shadow flame.
Warlocks, you might want to go stand in your position now to be safe.
Clear now.
Warlocks head over to the left hand side.
It's just decurse much, yeah.
It was range, it's okay now.
It's just Shadow flame again. It's just random sheep's march. I'm not sure mages.
Infernals.
Okay, Warlocks, swap to the Infernals, everyone.
Shadow flame on march. Nice, good job.
There's one more.
Curse much.
Roll happening?
Clear.
Free stop healing.
All healers on don't heal much. All healers on much. Priest just renew the raid shield. Shadow flame coming, big damage.
Sage teach that. Guess march.
Okay, blessing and protection on the boss. Don't worry about range classes. I've got enough aggro. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to push the boss to 22%, and then we're going to wait for the next class call.
Coming up.
We got bop for another 10 seconds.
I'm gonna get fair order new much.
Thank you.
Shadow flame.
Okay, okay, everyone push the damage. Mages get ready to pick up.
Decurse mage.
Okay, going to phase 3. Ploxy, can you go help everyone? Okay, pick him up.
I can't use my lid.
Challenging shot now.
Decurse much.
Hiss, can you cover?
Are all the skeletons dead?
No.
Fast call incoming.
Yeah, almost. One more up. One more up. It's fine.
Okay, I can last stand the next one, and I've got stone scale up. Hunters, your weapons are broken. Okay, everyone push the boss. Let's fucking kill this Drake. This means you get a topless video of me wrestling.
Oh yes.
Shadow Flame.
Great job.
Nicely done, everyone.
Nothing to my kind. Do you
I couldn't pop my lip. I just used the mana pot right before.
Everyone, we spent more time wiping on an easy Drake when we did the 2 hardest bosses in the game. I'm proud of all. For anyone wondering, we've got a Nixia on reset today, so we can go kill a Nixia once we've done the loot here. And obviously, we need a guild pitch.
Just 1 second, I just need to be picture ready. That's better.
I need an organised line, maybe.
So what, the gnomes at the back and everyone else in front?
Yeah, otherwise it looks a bit like we've not tried.
You don't want to stand at the, what's it called? The chair, the throne?
So there's an unfortunate thing about the video that is, what's a good platform to share? Pornhub?
I'll put it up on YouTube as a private clip.
Yeah, actually, let's go stand on his throne.
But then we can't see his corpse.
One at the throne, one at the corpse.
Yeah, we'll take multiple pictures.
Fucking
gnome.
fucking
What's
RP
this
here.
Get off. Who's that? Antitrust. The chubby one you stood on me.
You...
If you already won one main spec item, yeah, you won't win this one. Get this one.